Let's go over some of these dizzy broads and some of the shit they've written on the internet. Now, you already see this dumbass question. Is my white boyfriend a racist if he talks bad about black people, but I'm black? Oh, dumbass. Help, I think my boyfriend's a racist. I'm 18, I think my white boyfriend's a racist. I'm 21, a little bit skeptic at first when I first entered a relationship. I'm attracted to white guys, yada yada. So he doesn't let me meet any of his friends. I let him meet mine, but he never let me meet his. Let me stop right there. I've heard this several times. This is very common. There's a secret bed wench, right? They're a secret, I don't know, fuck toy. They're treated like a concubine. They introduce the white guy to all their friends because they happy. He a trophy. They're going to show him off, but he don't introduce her to none of his friends and definitely not his family. So that's definitely hilarious. Right? She read one of his text messages. One of his friends was referring to her as a nigger. How are you still dating her? Blah, blah, blah. And sometimes when I see him and he's with his friends, they'll start laughing. And he'll look at me and they'll laugh again. Then they'll walk over to me. This the shit that's under the surface, alright? This is what they really not talking about. This is a real crazy story. This chick talking about how this guy, her boyfriend, they moved in and he orders her around basically like a slave. He's actually treating her like a slave. Like I told you in my other video, when they see black women, they see slaves. They see the same concubines that their forefathers had. They want to experience what it was like to have a bed wench, a black concubine. And this guy was treating her like exactly that. He wanted dinner to be completed no later than 7 p.m. And if it's ready at 7:30, he'll yell at her. Same thing with breakfast. Not only does he want his clothes ironed and the shower running, but also a huge specific breakfast. And all of this has to be done before 7 a.m. So while he's sleeping, she wake up at 5:30 in the morning. And he sleeps until 6:30. And this has been going on since the first week they moved in. So once they moved in together, he's like, okay, I got my slave. Damn. Then she wanted to go see her family during Christmas. He got mad and started hitting her, physically abusing her now. So this is a psycho white dude. There is no way possible I could have spent 5 minutes with this white dude and not been able to see that, not been able to detect that. I can always spot a racist white dude, always. You gotta ask yourself, what's wrong with these black women that they can't see it? And I see it all the time. They do not see what we see. I've seen white guys at some of the jobs I've had with white supremacist tattoos, right? And the black dudes know that these dudes racist. The black women be all up in their face. They be up in the black woman's face. Black women grinning from ear to ear. Nothing but teeth and gums. They do not detect the racist white guys. Let's move on. This was from a white dude. Said his former friend, his dad hated black dudes, and he hated them in caps, but he didn't have a problem with black females at all. This was from a white dude. So he's telling you straight up, yes, many racist white dudes fuck with black women. And you gotta question, how could black women possibly continue to date them, knowing that the most racist of them are willing to date them? Now just think if you have a son and that son look more black than white. This dude still hates black males and that boy looks black. What are the chances do you think it is that boy will be abused? Let's move on. My girlfriend used the N-word in reference to one of my friends. We were alone, so no one else heard the comment. I was stunned, shocked, and appalled. I immediately left the room because I was so disturbed. Right? It is a word that neither I nor my family or friend uses in any sort of context because I've been raised to view it as incredibly offensive. Now that's an interesting statement because it would be different if he heard her using the word. This is a white guy who had a black girlfriend and he never heard her using that word, but yet it still flew out his mouth. Now if she was using the word, that would sort of indirectly give him, permission to also use it. Let's move on. My white friend, his boyfriend, is basically racist. Now what? Now she don't know what to do. You find out your boyfriend racist and you asking for advice, you don't know what to do. Now what? Really? Damn. Well, man, he grew up in the mountains of California, blah, blah, blah. And they was watching Meet the Press. And he said that black unemployment rate was so high because black people are lazy. And second racist comment in a week. I'm at a loss of what to do. A week ago, he insisted that black people were genetically less intelligent than white people. Mainly because of our inability to not be so offended anytime we hear the N-word. Damn. We live together and we're expecting our first child next month. Damn. All this time, these black broads cannot detect. They cannot see it. I've always seen this. They are oblivious to signs of racist white men and white women. See, they view whites as harmless. They only think overt racism exists. And if a white guy is in their face, cracking jokes, being a little flirtatious, this guy cannot be racist. I just found out my white boyfriend is keeping me a secret from his racist family. And I think that's a deal breaker. Just like I said before. They show him off, he don't show them off. Right? It's hilarious. See if we got any more. Is my boyfriend racist? When we hang out, one of his friends starts calling her a nigger and starts, acting racist. And her boyfriend starts to act different, right? When he's with this racist friend of his. Once again, this broad is actually putting up with the racism. Once you see that your white boyfriend is cool with a white racist, what the fuck are you still doing with him? How dumb can you get? See, this is the stupidity of these women. They cannot imagine that a white man could possibly be racist and still mess around with a black girl. Now, you remember the Abner Louima incident, where this man was beaten by the police officers from the time he was wrongfully arrested to the time they got to the police station. They kept beating him there. They sodomized him. They stuck a broomstick up his ass. So far, they damaged, I think, his liver and ripped his colon. Right? And that officer had a black girlfriend or a black wife. The cop who recently flipped that black girl over in the classroom, a black girlfriend. Right? Another police officer who said the only good nigga is a dead nigga. He went off on made some other racist remarks. Had a black girlfriend. I took this photo from the infamous Ghetto Gaggers. Now, those who know, you know exactly where I'm about to go with this. Look at that spider web tattoo. That is a white supremacist tattoo. And usually it has to be earned. And you earn it by killing a black person. Almost always a black male. See, a lot of people think these white guys on Ghetto Gaggers are just actors or just playing. They're not really racist. No, They're getting bona fide racist white males to do that, because if they didn't, then the white males could not go through with the scenes. No, they need bona fide racist white men to be in these scenes. And there has been hundreds of black women who participated in ghetto gaggers. And we need to stop looking at these black women in ghetto gaggers as if they're from another planet. These are regular, everyday black women in black communities. These are the same black women you live next door to. And they're willingly having sex and being degraded, having their race degraded, because they don't give a shit about blackness itself. That's why you never heard any serious outcry from black women against ghetto gaggers. You know, white men have violated and destroyed black women worse than any group of men have violated and destroyed any other group of women by far. We can all agree to this. Despite that fact, they still go crazy over that white man. They still started a swirl movement via websites, Facebook pages, website articles, magazine articles, right? Talk show appearances, news appearances. They've started blogs, you name it. Any way that they could reach out to the masses, they have decided to promote a swirl movement with white men primarily in mind, to voice how available they are to white men, to voice how much they admire white men and crazy and worship white men. Despite the fact that these two, no other group of women have made such a passionate movement and outcry to white men the way black women have, because she respects his power. It's almost as if the depth to which white men have conquered black men, that is to the depth to which they respect white men. Black women respect white men's power over black males. They respect white men's ability to rule over you, just like a lioness respects a lion, even though he is the same one who killed her cubs when he took over the pride. Yes, that was a horrible moment. He killed her babies, but he has proven that he was the dominant male. He's proven that he's able to protect the pride, so she respects that. All the lioness in the pride respect that, and they all end up mating with that same one who killed their cubs. That is exactly the way black women are in relation with white men in regard to black men. Okay, you will never be respected by black women the way they respect that white man. He has earned a level of respect you will never get. And I'm saying that includes every black woman in this country. Every single one. I don't care how Afrocentric or pro-black she claims to be. It is in their nature to respect any group of men who demonstrate authority and power. I'm going to end this video there. I don't want it to go too long, but stay tuned.